him out in the third round. He is now the interim WBC middleweight champion of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome and the new champion from the Dominican Republic, Carlos Adames. Carlos, how are you feeling? ¿Cómo te sientes?
Me siento muy bien, gracias a Dios. Primeramente quiero darle las gracias por la oportunidad. Me siento bien, muy bien, gracias a Dios, muy feliz, nuevo campeón del mundo. Disponible para las apuestas y aquí estamos.
I feel elated. I'm so happy and I feel fine. Thankfully, thank God that I'm okay and I'm really happy to be here and I'm ready for questions. So let's go.
All right, before we open it up the floor to questions, I won't necessarily go into the story, but Carlos Adames has had his fair share of obstacles to deal with in order to get here. I mean, he had, quite a bit that was on his plate. He got here to Los Angeles on Thursday. He made the weight. He had some, he was dealing with some stuff with his visa. Went ahead, got past that, got here late Thursday night, had to make weight, went ahead and made the weight for the weigh-in on Friday, missed the press conference because he was still in Mexico City, which is high elevation, made the weight on Friday, and then comes out with this performance. On top of that, he had his wife and him, they were expecting a newborn. The newborn passed away. He had to go home to the Dominican Republic because he went ahead and they buried the baby. They had a funeral. Then he comes back here to get ready for camp. And then he had, there was an issue with the visa. He got his visa, and now he's the new world champion. So this man has dealt with so much, both inside the ring and outside the ring. But the Dominican Republic should be very proud of Carlos Adames. I will now turn it over to the media for questions. A round of applause for what this man has dealt with over the course of the past couple of months. So to the media we go with questions. Keith Idec, you are first, my friend.
Carlos, congratulations and my condolences on the loss of your child. Obviously, it's a tough thing for your family to go through. How were you able to get past everything that you've been through recently? How were you able to get past all that mentally and focus on the fight?
Bueno, Carlos, primero que nada, nuestras condolencias por el fallecimiento de tu bebé, durísimo, y la verdad, desde el corazón, todos nosotros te queremos mandar un abrazo. Y bueno, contanos cómo hiciste para toda la adversidad que tuviste en esta pelea, antes de esta pelea, para concentrarte y poder hacer lo que hiciste esta noche.
Sí, así es, como lo puedo decir, perdí mi bebé recién nacida, pero gracias a Dios le doy, siempre que me acuesto, me hinco y le pido gracias a Dios porque me da la fuerza, solo Él puede darme la fuerza y el deseo de seguir hacia adelante. Sin Él no soy nadie, y Él es el que me da el camino, Él es el que me ilumina mi camino, y gracias a Dios siempre estamos preparados y haciendo el trabajo para tener los mejores resultados.
Yes, I did lose my newborn daughter, and what gives me strength is God. He allows me to move forward. He's the one that has lighted the way for me. Without Him, I will be nobody, and He's the one that gave me the strength to stay and move forward. Go ahead, next question.
Yeah, more questions from the media. Keith, go ahead.
Maybe Bob can help with this also. Was there a point when you felt maybe he would not get here for the fight based on the visa issues?
Definitely, we thought the visa was going to come in 1 to 3 days. 2 weeks had went by. They told us the visa was going to be coming in on Wednesday, so I felt pretty confident. They said, go to a loading place to get the visa, and the visas were distributed there. His visa wasn't there, so they said maybe tomorrow, which was Thursday. And at that point, I was like, if we don't get it Thursday, obviously the fight's off. So thank God the visa came in Thursday morning, and when we got the visa, that said, then we couldn't get a flight out. And we got to make weight, so, luckily there was a cancellation. We were able to get on the flight. We got in after, a 4.5-hour flight. We had to go through customs for 3.5 hours, and from there we had to go straight to make weight. And the obstacles that he had to overcome in Mexico City, the logistics of everything, we thought he was going to be there, like I said, 1 to 3 days, and then having to start up a completely new camp, having to buy equipment over there, find sparring over there. The food is completely different over there. It was very, very, very difficult, and, I've said this a lot. He's one of the most talented fighters I've ever seen, so I knew if anybody could overcome those obstacles, it would be him.
just one last thing for me. Based on the way he beat Montiel tonight and the struggles that Charlo had with Montiel before, what does he think, and what do you think, Bob, about Charlo's willingness to fight Carlos now?
Well, you know, I think Charlo is one of the most talented fighters there is out there. His record speaks for itself. That said, obviously, I've been with Erislandy Lara for a lot of his career, so I've watched him and Charlo spar many, many times, and I'm pretty familiar with him, and he's a great fighter. But Carlos Adames is he's a different animal. He's a different animal, and I have no doubt that Carlos Adames, if we fight him, is going to be victorious. There's no doubt in my mind. So, you know, he has a choice. He can either give up the title or he's going to fight us. And if he fights us, there's no doubt in my mind that Carlos Adames is going to beat him. I've seen him in there with Caleb Plant. He's been in there with Benavidez. I know what he's capable of doing. They know what he's capable of doing. And I'm telling you right now, take it to the bank. This man will beat Charlo, no doubt in my mind. And I have the utmost respect for the Charlos.
Bueno, Carlos, lo que acaba de decir tu entrenador es que no le cabe ningún tipo de duda que vos podés vencer a Charlo si te da la oportunidad, o sea, que agarre el título o que pelee contra vos. Y si pelea contra vos, vas a ganar. Acá la pregunta del periodista era, considerando que a Charlo le costó Montiel y que vos básicamente le ganaste en forma contundente, ¿qué diferencia ves en esta victoria viendo a futuro una posible pelea contra Charlo?
La diferencia es, tenemos vistas diferentes, tenemos enfoques diferentes, trabajamos diferente. Se demostró hoy que él no está trabajando para tener los números grandes, yo estoy trabajando para tener los números grandes. Y si se enfrenta a mí, él sabe la consecuencia que le va a obtener. O sea, por eso aquí, cuando nos subimos arriba del ring y nos preparamos, cada día nos levantamos de nuestra cama, demostramos lo que trabajamos. Y él demostró con Montiel que no está trabajando, no está haciendo el trabajo para hacer los números grandes. Yo estoy trabajando para hacer los números grandes. Espero que me dé la oportunidad y de vernos la cara arriba del ring.
You know what the difference is? That I'm working hard to be the best, and he's clearly not working hard to be the best. I get up every single morning from bed wanting to be the best. I don't see that from Charlo. So if you ask me what was the difference between now and then with Montiel, I think that's it. Next question.
Ellie?
Congratulations, guys, on a big win. Bob, you started the year with 50-1 underdog. You won the title. Now Adames. Do you think you're one of the candidates for Trainer of the Year this year?
Again, I leave that up to the people, you know, to make those decisions, the writers and the fans, and you know, it's opinion-based, and so I leave that up to them.
Bob Santos could run for president of the Dominican Republic if he wanted to with what he's done. 3 world champions for the DR that he leads. So, I mean, go ahead, Eileen.
Carlos, what do you like about Bob? What do you like about his coaching?
¿Qué es lo que más te gusta de trabajar junto a Bob Santos?
Bueno, para mí Bob Santos, desde que lo conocí, la primera vez que lo conocí, me ha tratado como su familia. Él no me mira como un peleador, él me mira como uno de sus hijos, su esposa, sus hijos me miran como uno de sus hermanos, y es el cariño que me han brindado, el amor que me han brindado. Vivo en su casa, para mí las mejores atenciones, me encanta trabajar con él, es una persona bastante disciplinada, lo que más me gusta es que hace su trabajo serio, tiene disciplina, y eso es lo que me ha ayudado a mí en mi carrera.
Bob is like a father to me, and in turn, he treats me like a son. His wife treats me like a son. His sons treat me like a brother. Whenever I need shelter, if I want to stay at his place, I have the doors open. And as far as what we do in the gym, he's disciplined, he's serious, he knows what he wants. So to me, it's everything that I could want and more. I'm really happy to work with him.
We're going to do 2 more quick questions and cut these guys loose.
Steven Guadagno, KO Artist Sports. Carlos, congratulations. With a fight between you and Jermall Charlo, with your guys' styles, very aggressive, very come forward, do you think there's any way that fight doesn't end in a knockout?
Bueno, si digamos que sucede la pelea contra Charlo, sus estilos no podrían ser más distintos. ¿Crees que esa pelea termina en un knockout sí o sí, o crees que estaría la posibilidad de que llegue a los jueces?
Yo creo que no, realmente, porque como acaba de decir, tenemos un estilo similar, sabemos boxear los dos. Yo creo que esa pelea no llegaría a decisión, esa pelea terminaría por knockout.
Well, like you said, the styles are the key, and I do believe that fight would end in a knockout. I don't think it will reach the judges.
They're going to be a parade in the Dominican Republic when you go back?
¿Habría un desfile en la República Dominicana cuando regreses y ganas esa pelea?
Posiblemente.
Possibly, yeah.
One more question. Are we done? All right, congratulations to the new interim WBC middleweight champion of the world from the Dominican Republic, Carlos Adames, ladies and gentlemen.
Caballo Ranco!
Felicidades, campeón. And also Bob Santos, 3 champions from the Dominican Republic that he has led over the past couple of months. I mean, my goodness, the Dominican Republic from a boxing standpoint doing amazing things. That man is one of the main reasons why. So